webinar. Appreciate you being with us this morning. We still have people rolling on here, so I'm going to get started. And if you give me just 1 second, make sure everything's proper. If you could do me a favor, just type in the message board yes if you hear me. Just want to make sure. Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Appreciate you being with us this morning. And this is something that we normally do the first Saturday of every month. And I had a conflict for first Saturday of July, so we wanted to go ahead and do it early for you guys this month. And I'm excited. Have a pen, have a paper ready, and you want to definitely take some notes as we go through this. For all the new members that are with us today, and I know there's a lot, you guys are doing an awesome job, a lot of new people coming in, especially for the summertime. Good things are happening, as always, it seems, with SBC. But for new members, from a third-party source, you know, I'm not affiliated with Skinny Body other than just trainer, consultant, work with Ben and the leaders. And I just want to tell you guys, and I'm telling you as straight as I can, and I would not say this if I didn't believe it, but you've definitely joined a company with an owner and leadership that is dedicated to helping you build a business long term. And you will hear, if you haven't already heard, Ben say many times that I've heard him talk over the last year and a half or so, is, you know, he wants this to be the last network marketing company that you ever join. And I can tell you, just from my time with him and talking to him and being around him, that really is his desire. And that's the desire of the leaders, is that you really build a future here. And they are dedicated to giving you the support structure and everything that you need to build a long-term business that can be passed down to your children and your grandchildren. And quite frankly, I've been in this industry over 30 years, and there's not that many times that I can say that. But I can definitely say that about the leadership that you have with SBC. So for new people, I just think that's important that you hear that. And whether you believe it or not right now is really not the issue, because if you hang around here and continue to get involved in what's going on with this company, it's going to become more than evident to you personally, and that's what really matters, that this is absolutely true in the way it is, and that you really have found a home. And it doesn't matter how many times you may or may not have heard that in the past, because, you know, a lot of people in this industry like to say the same things, but every now and then you run across leadership that really believes it and really wants to feel it and wants you to feel it, and you will find that here without question. The number one concept today that we want to get from your head to your heart, and this is the number one concept when you're building any team anywhere, is it's all about the numbers. I'm getting some background noise somewhere. I don't know where that's coming from.
It's coming from me, Dale. I'm trying to say hi.
Oh, you're here.
I'm at the airport. I just just want to say good morning to everyone. I'm going to mute myself and let you get back to it.
Oh, okay, buddy. All right.
Good morning, guys. Actually, I can't mute, so I'm going to jump off, but I hope you guys are having an awesome morning. Definitely pay attention. Dale's got some awesome stuff lined up for you. And see you guys later.
Sounds good. Thanks for popping in, Ben.
All right.
All right. So the number one concept when you're building a team in this industry, and this is the hardest thing for people to grasp, because we're emotional human beings. We get emotionally involved in the processes. And the number one concept is you have a number. And for you to go from where you are to where you want to go with SBC, and we'll say that's a diamond, but for you to get from where you are to the diamond position, the bottom line facts, there's X number of people that you're going to have to expose to the products and opportunity before that's going to happen. X number of people exposed equals you becoming a diamond. Now, I don't know what your number is. You don't know what your number is. If we did, it'd make it a whole lot easier. But we both know from every logical, psychological standpoint, you've got a number. You absolutely have a number. And the quicker and the faster that you get to that number, the quicker and faster you're going to reach your goal. And it can be for your next ranked position. It can be to become a diamond. It can be to become a crown diamond. Whatever you want to ultimately accomplish, or what your next goal is, to get to your next goal, there's X number of exposures that you're going to have to make before that's going to happen. And what happens a lot of times in this industry is a lot of people can't get past that because, if they could just get Uncle Harry and Bob, then everything's going to be awesome. And, they spend all their time with Uncle Harry instead of learning the word next. This is a hit-and-run business. It's not a hit and convince, and it's not about convincing. It's about finding the right people at the right time in their life. That's what it is. So the sooner this concept, and I know everybody understands the law of averages, but the sooner it gets from your head to your heart, and every day you're getting up and you're working your business and you understand some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting, and you get into that rhythm of the business, it makes it a lot easier, a lot more fun, and you just know you're on your way to wherever you decide you want to go. And it's a hard concept. For some reason, everybody can understand it from a factual law of averages standpoint. But to really live it, it's really hard for people. And once you can get to a point where, again, you can get in the rhythm of the business and you're just doing everything you can every day to expose as many people as you possibly can in everything that you do, and it's just part of your everyday routine, you're going to get there a lot quicker. So that's the number one concept, that you have a number. Now, the choice is always to make the decision to get to your number as quick as possible, but what most people do, again, is they get emotionally bogged down in the process. They get, I did this and they didn't do that, and they didn't follow up, and they didn't call me back, and they didn't show up, and they didn't go to my website, and this didn't happen, and that didn't happen. And you know what? It's always going to be that way. That's not going to change. It was that way over 30 years ago when I started. It'll be that way 30 years from now. People just, as Jim Rohn would say, the birds are going to get some. Okay, the birds are going to get some. I mean, you got some time with Dale, they were so excited, and then now they won't return my calls. That's right, because they went, and without really knowing anything, they went out and talked to a few people. They did not give those people the chance to hear the full story. They just shared with them their excitement and their limited knowledge, and the people said, boo, and it was over, and now they won't call you back. And they've done that. That's been their pattern their whole life. It has nothing to do with you, and it has nothing to do with SBC. It's just the way people are. And people think different. We have different patterns. We have different programs. And some people are going to get run off. The more excited they are in the beginning, the more likely they're going to be run off if they ever do get started and get moving forward. So some of these things, you just have to learn it and work with the way it is, and don't let it bog you down, because other people's reaction has nothing to do with the opportunity that's available to you through SBC. If your rich uncle thinks it's the greatest opportunity in the world, that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. If your rich uncle thinks that it's a scam, it doesn't mean anything. the opportunity stands on its own. The success stories are here. The entire operation, the logistics of it, it's all been proven. There's no guesswork at this point, and really anybody's opinion, good or bad, doesn't matter because SBC doesn't need it. The numbers speak for themselves, and you can't argue with numbers. You cannot argue with the success that's already here. So, again, we just have to wrap our brains and our minds around facts and then work with those. You know, over the past 30 years, people, I have heard people come up to me, or people in my organization, and people that I consult with, train with, thousands of times. I have heard the phrase, blank doesn't work anymore. And you can fill in the blank with a lot of different things. But blank doesn't work anymore. I can remember when everybody you know, 20 years ago, maybe 25 now, I don't know. I mean, we never taught it, never believed it because it financially wasn't duplicatable, but there was a time in this industry when everybody was sending out audio cassettes. Some of you are old as I have, been around as long as I have, and you remember the Dead Doctors tape that you would receive just out of nowhere. People were buying mailing lists of entrepreneurs and mailing out these Dead Doctors Don't Lie tapes. And I can remember going to the mailbox and getting 6 and 7 of these tapes in the same day. And it got to a point where I had the boxes that hold 100 cassettes, and I'd get the Dead Doctors, and I would just start putting them in that box, and when the box filled up with 100, I'd get the address of the last person that sent it to me, and I would just send the whole 100 cassettes back to them with a note saying, hey, you need these more than I do. And you know, a lot of us knew that this concept would be short-lived, but there's some people that build huge businesses just teaching their people to send out cassette tapes, buying mailing lists and send out cassette tapes. And then after a couple years of that, then everywhere I went, it was like, mailing cassettes doesn't work anymore, Dale. Well, it probably would work today. It all works. It just didn't work at the level that it once did. Nothing does. And when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, you know, I think if you did a cassette, not a DVD or MP3, a cassette today, and you titled it the right title, and guys, don't do this. I'm not saying to do it, but I'm thinking, you know, and it said something like, this is a test. Can you find a machine to listen to this on? I think, and again, I'm just talking out there, okay? But I believe that if certain people got that tape, it would drive them crazy, and they would want to hear, what is this? What's on this tape? And you could I know they would probably do better now than they did, you know, right after the peak when everybody was doing it. But my point, it has nothing to do with that. I'm not trying to give you some new marketing method. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it, and I don't like it because it's not duplicatable by the masses because of the cost. And I didn't like it then because of that. But my point is, every prospecting method, everything that we do in this industry, if it worked once, it'll work again. But everything goes through its cycle. And, you know, there was a time when I heard, you know, Dale, meetings don't work. There was actually a cassette tape that a large company was sent out hundreds of thousands, if not more, and the title of the tape was, You Love Network Marketing, But You Hate Meetings. And, you know, there was a big push years ago that meetings no longer work. Well, we all know that there's been many companies that have been very successful operating meetings. You know, I don't know how many we had here in Atlanta with the last SBC event, but there was hundreds. You know, meetings do work. Meetings are the best way to expose someone to the opportunity when they're around a lot of other people that are involved, as we talked about last month in the Building for Events training. You know, people, well, my warm market's all burnt out. I'm in the NFL club. And it's like you even created a acronym for the fact that you burn out in your mind, you burn out your warm market, you've created an acronym. And you know, there was people walking around, I'm in the NFL club, I'm in the NFL club. I'd pull their thumb out of their mouth and say, what's NFL? No friends left. And it's like, you know, that's ridiculous. Network marketing is not about, you're my friend, so you need to join me. It's about finding the right person at the right time in their life. And if the timing's not right, next. It's not about, you know, browbeating Uncle Harry to death to get him to join your business. You know, and then you hear, well, conference calls don't work anymore. Local ads, postcards, direct mail, fax on demand. Well, fax on demand probably wouldn't work today because there's not that many people that have faxes. But they were saying that 15 years ago. Drop cards don't work anymore. And more recently, you know, you hear things like email marketing's not working anymore. Solo ads don't work anymore. Social media doesn't work. Twitter doesn't work. Facebook doesn't work. YouTube doesn't work. Well, all technology does is give us more opportunities to add to our prospecting methods that have been proven in the past. Technology is an addition to the proven prospecting methods of the past, like drop cards and flyers and that type of thing. It's not a replacement for. It never should have been, never has been, never should have been a replacement for the proven lead generating methods of the past. Facebook, you know, there's a lot of people in SBC have done awesome with Facebook, but Facebook changed their algorithms, and we all know that. Where I used to could put a post out and it would show on all my friends' pages and all their friends' pages, and now you put the post out and the number's been reduced by about 80%. It's going to show on about maybe 20% of my friends' pages, and therefore the numbers have been decreased drastically, and it has nothing to do with anything other than the algorithms changed. It's not that Facebook doesn't work. Facebook still works, but it doesn't work at the level that it once did. And that's going to happen many times with technology because they change the algorithms, they'll make changes, and things don't work as well as they once did. Google changes its algorithms from time to time. You can do a lot of SEO and you can get page ranked very high in the search engines, and in a couple of days that can disappear. And we've talked about that as well in the past. So the bottom line is everything works. Everything works, but there ain't no foo-foo dust. You know, there's people that used to think mailing cassettes was the foo-foo dust. It was the way to build the business. There's people that used to think postcards are the only way, the most economical way. There's people that used to think buying genealogy lists and calling all those people were the way. There ain't no foo-foo dust. That's kind of a catchphrase that, you know, my wife cringes every time I say ain't, but that's the bottom line, guys. In network marketing, there ain't no foo-foo dust. You know, you have all these people trying to tell you that all the heavy hitters have secrets that you don't have. Think how stupid, how ridiculous that is. How's a heavy hitter going to make money? By helping you make money. The more money they help you make, the more money they're going to make. So why would a heavy hitter ever not reveal his or her blank hidden secret? You know, I see all this stuff and it drives me crazy. It's like, are people really that gullible? And when you see that kind of stuff, if I were you, I would just run. the bottom line is all the lead generation methods work. If it's ever produced an MLM lead once, it will probably do so in the future. But the goal is to have as many lead generation activities going on to help you promote your business as you possibly can. That's the game. There is no foo-foo dust. There's no magic way to do it. It's all about generating leads, and a lead is a lead is a lead. And I don't care if you got it from a door hanger or you got it from Pinterest. It doesn't matter. A lead is a lead is a lead. Marketing is about getting your message in front of the right person at the right time in their life. And the way we like to describe this is when you're contacting a prospect for the business opportunity, their window is either open or it's not. Bottom line. And what I mean by that, I think that in a 365-day year, every American, every person's window opens at some point. And it may open for a couple minutes, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes. You know, I remember having a lady that joined me. She was in Wisconsin, and she had been at her job, and her boss gave her a really, really, really hard time, blaming her for a situation at her office that she had nothing to do with. She came back from her boss's office, frustrated, aggravated, sat down at her desk, opened her email, and got an email from me. And because of the timing of that email, her window was open, and she ended up joining and doing a really, really good job still in the industry today. But that was how it happened. Her window opened. Now, reality, by that afternoon, she would have probably calmed down, and her window would probably have closed if she'd seen that email that night. Now, that's the span that we're dealing with a lot of people. Some people's window will open and stay open for a week. Some people's window will open and it stays open for a month. And some people's window open and it stays open. They have decided that they're not going to continue to do what they've been doing, and they're looking for a financial vehicle. They've decided that. And when the window opens and stays open, or when the window just cracks open over a short period of time, if you have enough marketing messages, if you have enough messages in the marketplace, then it increases your odds that you will find the right person at the right time in their life. This is not rocket science. It's really simple. But the problem is we don't want to get real with the business. We want to take shortcuts. We want to accomplish as much as we possibly can, doing as little as we possibly can, and that's just not the way it's going to work long term. It's not. There ain't no foo-foo dust. So people that really get this industry understand it's massive numbers, and the more numbers you create, the quicker you're going to hit your number, and the quicker you're going to get where you want to go. And that's the game, guys. It's just the way it's played. And you can fight it, and you can wish it for foo-foo dust, and you can wish there was a magic genie in a lamp, and you can think that all the gurus, all the high-income earners in SBC are keeping something from you. They're not telling you something, and I'll tell you, you're wrong. I don't care what company you're in, you're wrong. This industry is based upon helping other people become successful, period, bottom line. That's it. You look at anybody that's done well here, it's because they've been able to help a lot of other people do well. And that should be the focus. That should be the focus. And we have to learn how the rules of the game. We have to learn how to win at this game, and we cannot win if we are letting our emotions just determine our activity, determine every aspect of our business. We got to get into a rhythm of the business. The rhythm of the business creates consistency, and consistent effort will not always bring consistent results, but it always brings success. It always brings success. If you can get into a consistent rhythm, it'd be great if you got, consistent results every week. If I get, 47 people to my website, 3 new ones are going to join, and that happened every single time, that would be awesome. This would make the business real easy. But the reality is sometimes you'll get 47 people to your website and nobody will join, and sometimes you might get 47 and 19 join. You never know, because you don't know where that person is in their life and if their window is open or not. So don't fight it. Just do the numbers and get to your number as quick as you possibly can. That's the game. That's the game. The go is to start right, and then over time master lead generation. Get started right, and then after you get started right and you learn the basic foundational system, then master lead generation so you can get more and more and more people through the system. And if you're taking notes, that's what I would write down this statement. The goal is to start right, and then over time master lead generation. And that's what I want to expand on with you a little bit today. Ben and I talked about this, and this is really what we just want to share with you, and we want you to understand that your ability to start right and then master lead generation, the tools and the training for you personally to be able to do this, no matter what's going on around you. But for you saying, I'm going to learn how to start right and get my people started right, and then I'm going to master lead generation. Those tools are here for you, and we just want to make sure that you get that, because ultimately learning how to start right is important so you can start your new team members right. And you say, well, Dale, I started a year ago. I started 6 months ago, and I didn't start right. Or I started a year and a half ago, and I didn't start right. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's normal. That's normal. But don't let it happen for the people that you enroll from this point on. Okay. Decide, hey, I'm going to get them started right. I'm going to give them the right direction. I want to get them started right. I want them to learn the foundational system. And then from there, we're going to be able to add, 5 ways to generate leads at a time. And then before we know it, they're generating leads 5, 15, 25 different ways. And they're getting those new people that they're recruiting and joining their team. They're getting those people started right. And before you know it, you got so much momentum going in your organization that can be duplicated, and that's the key, guys. It can be duplicated, and you're off and running. You're off and running. The pieces of the puzzle to create success with SBC are here, and the pieces that aren't here. The pieces to develop your foundation and create your initial success, and to continue to master lead generation to get you to at least 6 figures, the pieces are in place. I did a training years and years ago called The Pieces of the MLM Puzzle, because a lot of times you'll see a lot of really good people, and they have most of the pieces, but they don't have them in the right order, and they don't have them in a systematic order, in a step-by-step order. And I just want to assure, especially the new people, that the pieces are here. They absolutely are. And sometimes, there's a thing that happens a lot in network marketing, and Bob Chris talks about it in his book, Raising the Giant, where people are getting too much training. Learn, move forward. You can't learn algebra. You cannot learn algebra till you've mastered basic arithmetic. math, adding, addition. And unfortunately, a lot of times you have people trying to learn an algebra that haven't learned basic addition yet. They're trying to learn how to prospect with bulk emailing or infomercials or whatever, and they haven't learned the basic start right foundation yet. So even if one of those wild ideas work, like I'm going to mail cassette tapes, please don't anybody do that. But even if some wild idea worked, they're still going to limit their success because they don't have the start right system in place once they do enroll somebody. And I hope this is making sense, guys, because this is real important. It's real important for long-term growth in your business. But the pieces are here. Your path to SBC success is here. Direct sales, and I think sometimes people see SBC more as a product selling business. And direct sales is about selling products and making profits. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great business model. It's worked for years. It'll continue to work. And as Jim Rohn said, profits are better than wages. No question about it. But if you're going to build a network marketing team and create residual income, then your focus has to be beyond that. Network marketing is about developing homegrown leaders and creating a lifetime residual income that can be passed down from generation to generation. Okay, so a lot of people get involved in SBC and they're not really thinking about developing a team. They're more focused on selling a product. And yes, selling a product is a great way to develop a team if you have a system for backing those people in the business, which SBC does. But if you want an organization of up-and-coming leaders, not of just people that are focused on just selling products. The people that are focused on selling products, that's awesome as long as they understand the reason to retail is to recruit. And I'm going to say that again. The reason to retail is to recruit. The reason to sell a product is to back that person in the business. Because organizations that network marketing leadership multiplies and it grows, and that's how the residual income is ultimately created. In this industry, and Ben's talked about it, had people come in speak at events to talk about it, and he believes in this, and I believe in this, and the leadership believes in this. You haven't made it in this industry until you don't need your monthly paycheck, your monthly commission check to live a comfortable lifestyle. And I know that is his goal. His goal is down the road for the people in SBC that help build this company can get themselves in a situation financially where if they never received another SBC check, through smart investing and putting their money in assets, income-generating assets, that they can live a comfortable lifestyle regardless of how many zeros their SBC check has on it. And see, I love that about this company and about the leaders in this company because most want to keep you broke. And I've talked with company owners, and their whole philosophy is keep their leaders broke, because if their leaders are broke, then they're hungry. And I can't stand that philosophy, but their whole thing is, get them to buy another car, get them to buy another car, get them to travel over here, get them to do this, get them to do that. And they want people that will spend the money as fast as they make it because they have to stay hungry. And unfortunately, that's true. That is absolutely true, but that's a very short-sighted, very selfish mentality for an owner to have. And I can tell you that I remember reading a Facebook post, and I'll probably never forget it. and it was from Tim Miller, and Tim said, hey, we put our money in assets, not Ferraris. And I thought, how genius is that? How genius is that? And I know that starts from being down. And guys, that's the type of people that you want to be associated with, people that are going to tell you the truth and help you create wealth. If you want to make a few extra bucks retailing a product, do that at the flea market. If you want to create long-term residual income and wealth, network marketing is the place to do it. Not direct sales, network marketing. So how does it start? SBC, when you join, you get the roadmap to success. And there's been a lot of hours and hours and refinement and hours and refinement and hours and mistakes and refinement put into this little manual that you get when you join. You wouldn't believe the hours and the mistakes and the time, because it's accumulation of a lot of things over a lot of years. And that's your game plan when you get started. That's how you get started right, is with this, and you don't skip one part of it. And see, I know some of you say, oh yeah, I remember that was in my package, and you haven't seen it since. Okay, find it this weekend. I'm begging you to find it this weekend and work through it, because that is your foundational getting started right system. And see, here's the beauty, guys. This is the power of this little booklet. Every person you join, every person that joins your team gets the same booklet. And if you work through it, then you can help them work through it, and they can help their people work through it, and they can help their people work through it, and somebody 23 levels below you can help their people work through it, and now all of a sudden you have duplication happening. It's powerful, and it's the most powerful from that standpoint. It gives people the track to run on when leaders see the importance of that, the track to run on. It gets people started on the same foot. You don't have people out there looking for what's the magic foo-foo dust. Oh, the magic foo-foo dust is postcards. No, the magic foo-foo dust is, no, the foo-foo dust is Pinterest. No, the foo-foo dust is it. And they spend their first 6 months just trying to find the foo-foo dust. I hope this is making sense, guys. So getting people started right is the first thing. You starting right, getting new people started right, and getting people on the same page and unified and going down the road together. So the foundation of this system is, number one, you have to decide why, and that's always been number one. But the foundation of this system is a very simple system that you can teach that creates referrals. See, if I'm getting enough referrals, I don't have to worry about getting leads if I'm getting referrals. And it's a real simple process. It's non-threatening. It's non-salesy. It's just like you were starting a restaurant in your hometown, and you say, you know, I know 50 people here, and I'm going to send them my menu and ask them to just pass the word out, word of mouth. Just let people know that I'm started a new restaurant, and here's my menu. It's basically the same concept. It's not weird marketing. It's just marketing. And all marketers understand word of mouth is the best advertising there is. So, and I'm not going to go through the entire process here, guys, because it's all on audio. It's all on webinar for you. It's been recorded, the entire process. But basically, you drop 10 brochures in the mail, and you say, hey, I've just gotten started in a new home business in the weight loss industry. Do me a favor. If you know anybody that is trying to lose weight like right now, will you pass this brochure along to them? Real simple. And there's not a person that you know that doesn't know somebody that's getting ready to start Jenny Craig or Weight Watchers or some type of weight loss program somewhere. Everybody knows people that are on a diet, getting ready to go on a diet, or just came off a diet. And we're just saying, hey, you know people like this, do me a favor, pass this brochure along. And then we follow up with them, and it's a very word-for-word, proven follow-up script. And we simply follow up, and we ask, hey, who did you give the brochure to? And most of the time they'll say, well, I haven't given it to anybody yet. And you say, well, who are you going to give it to? And they say, well, I was going to give it to a girl at work. She's just getting ready to go on Jenny Craig. And I said, can you do me a favor? You have her, what's her name? Just give me her address. You know where she lives, so I can send her a brochure and just pass that brochure along to somebody else. Now, that's the basics of it. The word-for-word script is available to you guys. But I want you to think about this. If you got 50 brochures out and nobody bought the product, but you got the name of 50 active dieters that you could then send another brochure to, do you think your business is going to get off to a fast start? If you can get the brochure in front of 50 active dieters, yes. The 50 people you know probably aren't, some of them are active dieters, but a lot of them probably aren't. But they all know active dieters. And that's the foundation behind that. Now, I want you to imagine over the next year, let's say you have 1,000 people join your team. You can say 100, doesn't matter, 10, it doesn't matter, whatever you can believe, 10,000. But imagine if every time a new person joined your team, the first thing they did was follow this little simple system. They don't even need to know how to turn on a computer. They don't have to spend a lot of money just for a little postage and brochures, and they're off and running. They're going to make that back quickly. But imagine if you had 1,000 people and all 1,000 of those people started their business with this simple little system to get the product in front of the right market at the right time, being dieters. Can you see long term, if this is just what everybody in SBC did, what it's going to do for your organization and for the company? And I'm just, I really don't have a dog in this fight. I don't. But I see where you guys are. I see what the upside potential is. And I understand what it's going to take to tap that potential, and this is one of the first things that has to happen throughout the whole company. We have to get people started collectively, unified, and right. And it's real easy, it's real simple, it's not difficult at all, and it's important. It's important, that people get the word out in the beginning, with their open for business process, the letters and the brochures, to start getting this product in front of the right people. So that's how to start. All this is explained in detail in your back office. The training webinar in your back office in detail, word for word detail. And it's covered in your quick start manual that you received when you joined. So start right has to do with the 50 brochures, 50 letters. That's how to get your business going. And from every one of those people, our ultimate goal is to get referrals from them, and we give you the word-for-word process for doing that, and backing some of those people into the business, and they will join just because of fear of loss. And again, this is explained in major detail in your back office on the webinar there. So that's a real easy way to get people started. Now, once you're started and you're moving forward and you're getting some customers and you're backing some people in the business, and until that's happening with that foundation, if it's not happening for you with the foundational system, then you have to stop, take a breath, and regroup and do it again. And if it doesn't happen, then you stop, regroup, take a breath, and do it again. Because the foundational system works every time when you understand that you're not trying to sell anything. You're just asking somebody for a favor, that would ask you for a favor that you would gladly do, and your percentages on that are going to be so high. If it's just a relaxed, hey, I need to do a favor, I just opened a restaurant, I sent you a menu. If you know anybody's looking for great Italian food, would you send them down? Send them down and have them come and visit me. That's basically all you're doing, guys. That's basically it. It's simple. So making that work is number one. And deciding, you know what, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. I'm going to learn what to say. I'm going to learn the process. I'm going to master it so I can teach it. You can't teach that which you don't master. So you master that first. Once you've got that, then it's, okay, how many new people, because if it just depends. I mean, you can have so many referrals that you don't need to generate any leads, and that's ultimately what you want to create. But there comes a time when you really want to pour it on. Maybe you're getting ready to go full-time or whatever, and you need a lot. You want as many leads as you can get, and we cover about 20 different ways in your back office to generate leads. Again, we proven ways to generate leads. It's all right there in your back office for you. So the goal is to start right, and then over time, master lead generation. And we try to share with people, learn 5 ways. Learn drop cards. Learn solo ads. Learn bulletin board flyers. Definitely in the top 5 should be learn how to get brochures in people's hands with the button. All the things that we've shared. Have 5 ways. Once you get those 5 ways going and creating leads for you and creating customers and creating new business team members, then add 5 more. Then add 5 more, and you can master lead, and then you get to a point where every day you're getting towards your number quicker and faster. Real simple, common sense stuff, guys. Real simple, common sense. You can do it. The only reason to recruit in the cold market is to get, I used to say, to get in the warm market of those that you recruit, which is still true. But the only reason to recruit in the cold market is to help your people get started with their own open for business referral letters in their warm market. And that's more, I'm using skinny SBC terms here. The only reason to recruit in the cold market is to help your people get started with their open for business referral letters, with the brochures in their warm market. Is to help those people get started right with the foundational system. And I'm hoping there's some ahas going on here this morning, guys, because it's not difficult. It's not hard to build a powerful, duplicating organization with new leaders coming down the road all the time, with homegrown leaders coming down the road. It's not difficult. It's no harder than you're going to work already. And the bottom line is, over time, it's the way to build a solid business over time, that you don't have to be in the middle of motivating and inspiring and all the time, because it's all systematic. You don't have somebody with a whip cracking a whip at McDonald's to get the people to do the right thing. It's all repetition. You've got multi-billion dollars in franchises all over the country being run by 17-year-old kids because it's unified and it's duplicatable, and you can build your team the exact same way. It's real simple. It's not difficult. If you're going to build a network marketing, you're going to put a lot of time, energy, and effort in regardless. And what we really want to do is make sure that you get the maximum return for the time, energy, and effort you put into this program. So the foundation for success, it can be learned and it can be implemented by anyone and everyone. I really believe that. It can be implemented by anyone and everyone, even if you don't know how to turn on the computer. which ultimately what it creates is real, long-term duplication, which is ultimately what you want. You want an organization that is duplicating month after month after month after month, not just a lot of new people joining, but coming in and moving down the road, getting started correctly and moving forward in the comp plan, moving up in rank achievement. That's the goal, guys. Have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. And giving people the direction, the foundation for success can be learned and implemented by anyone and everyone, which ultimately creates real long-term duplication. And it's real simple. In the beginning, until you know why, the how doesn't matter. And those of you that have been around a while, you've heard me say that dozens and dozens of times. Dozens of times. The first thing you have to do, your responsibility for yourself and for your people, is to decide what do you really want from this business. Because until you know why, the how doesn't matter. And take the time to think about it, talk about it with your spouse, and write it down. I can tell you without question, the only reason I have the opportunity to speak with you guys this morning is when I got started in this industry in 1980, I wrote down, one day I want to take my family to Hawaii. I want a new car. I want a brand new car. I want a brand new Mercury Cougar. Not a, well, I really wanted a Porsche, but the company had a car program, and the Cougar was the one I could get. I want a brand new car, and number 3, I want to make $5,000 a month so I can quit my job. That was my goal. 1980, however, 30-some years ago, 34 years ago, this October. So if I hadn't done that, I would have not made it in this industry. And I've seen so many people over the years, and I've had so many people come up to me and say, Dale, when I joined you back, blah, 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 and you made me write down my reasons and carry them with me and put them on my bathroom mirror and put them in my car, on my visor. And because you made me do that, I got to a point where I had to make it happen, and I did make it happen. If you guys knew how many times I've heard that, this would not be an issue for you. You know, Napoleon Hill said, what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve. Conceive and believe. How does that happen? You know, go online, write this down, go online on YouTube this weekend